I said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news. Live edition. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content with the people. What's good, Bucks Nation? What's good, friends and family? Y'all, we was chatting in the community page. Y'all know what we here to talk about. Y'all saw the thumbnail. All the young gunners, all our young bucks, or a decent amount of the young bucks were at Damian Lillard's Formula Zero Pro Camp, which I think is a very good idea for them to get even more reps, get some continuity and chemistry with Dame Lillard. If anything, no matter what happens this season, Bucks Nation, friends and family, we have to be impressed with the effort the Milwaukee Bucks are putting forward to put the best possible team on the floor, along with the players doing everything they can to be as good as possible in the offseason for those to reap the benefits in the regular season and postseason. I'm liking everything the Bucks are doing right now, to keep it real. I'm liking everything that we're doing right now. I'm impressed. I'm also impressed with Dame actually putting the olive branch out there for the young guys to come to his camp and work out with him. That lets me know that everybody's dialed in. Like, I think they hear the noise. I think the Bucks feel the disrespect. I think they're coming for everyone this year. And by me seeing them doing what they're doing, Giannis what he did in the Olympics, Dame already being in shape, Dame helping us getting Gary Trent, the young guys looking to work out with the veterans like Livingston and AJ Green, Beauchamp, AJ Johnson, choosing to go to Dame Lillard's camp. That lets me know that everyone knows what the goal is on this team, and that is to win a championship. And like I said, barring injury or anything weird happening, I think we have as good a chance as anybody to win a championship. I would put us in the top 3 teams, top 3 to 4 teams that can win a championship. That's not, the media won't tell you that because that's not what they want to talk about. But that's the reality. And to make it even more clear, the only team the Boston fans even talk about or care about is the Milwaukee Bucks. That's not by accident. That's by design. That is why that is why they talk about us, because they see how we're built, and they know we're their kryptonite. Same with Denver. We have our advantages because we have such a dominant big. And then you got Lopez for his positives, can stretch the floor, block shots. We're a matchup problem for a lot of teams. We already were previous to the changes that we made in the offseason, acquiring DeLon Wright, acquiring Torian Prince. We're a much more balanced team. This might be one of our best rosters ever. This, I believe, and y'all let me know if I'm wrong in the comment section. Shout out to Bucks Nation, friends and family. If this roster as currently constructed, I know they haven't done it yet, but on paper, this team is better than our championship team. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. And salute to friends and family. Appreciate everybody tapping in. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. You have entered the #1 Bucks podcast on YouTube, hands down. And you already know the #1 Bucks podcast and chat on YouTube. Salute to friends and family. I see y'all in the building. Came on a little early to talk. My screen is a little off, y'all, so I'm going to be kind of gazing a little bit. I had some technical difficulties earlier, but I'll get that resolved after the live. Let me shout out who's in the chat. We got Gibson in the chat. Salute to the Bahamas. My boy Brandon King Carter, what's good? Luke, what's good? Jeff Riley, what's good? Appreciate y'all popping in. Chris B, what's good? My boy Eli, what's good? Saul Cali, what's good? Teron, what's good? Shout out to the Bahamas. Jeff, shout out to the OC. My bad, bro. Appreciate y'all tapping in. My boy Oliver, what's good? Mia Kim, what's good? Yeah, y'all, we should really... I know a lot of y'all are mad that the Bucks are kind of not being mentioned as far as the elite teams, but you should look at that as bulletin board material. You saw the other clip I showed y'all for Ramona. There's like, you should never try to count Giannis out. That's when he goes in. I think this team is about to go in because everybody's counting them out. Counting out Dame, saying Dame is washed. They're saying that Giannis might be on the other side of his prime. I mean, there's a Middleton can't stay healthy. There's a lot of negative, I would say, The analysts are putting a lot of negative spin on the Bucks and not giving them the credit for what they've done. They're not giving them credit for any offseason moves or anything. So if I'm the Bucks, if I'm Doc Rivers, I'm using this all as bulletin board material. How are you not talking about the Bucks? We've revamped. We've did a soft reboot on this team in one offseason. We did a soft reboot, and not just with players, but also with personnel. We upgraded our players, and we also upgraded our personnel as far as our coaching staff. This should be talked about. We made great additions and changes on this team, and the dedication and focus this team is showing in the offseason, dedicating themselves to hoop and trying to improve their game, playing with one another. I mean, I'm really, really excited for what the Bucks are going to do this season. I expect nothing less than greatness from this team, y'all. Seriously, they're putting in the work in the off season. That's how you win. You put the work in the off season. What's good, Patricia? Let me get to some of these comments real quick. My boy Gibson says, "Salute Bucks Nation, love and respect, friends and family." Absolutely, absolutely. Salute Gibson. My boy Brandon and Dame is getting some of our new, fresh, and young guys in the gym with him. Let's go. Salute to my Bucks Nation family and friends, Packer Nation. Absolutely. What's good, Brandon? My boy Luke said, "Let's go, Milwaukee Bucks." I found out our schedule. Absolutely. I'll put that up too. If you want to put the link in the chat, I'll put that up. I should be able to manage to do that. Luke said Milwaukee Bucks worked out with Terrence Davis. Interesting. My boy Jeff sending out the salutes to myself, Gibson, Daniel, Brandon, Pass, Monalando, the whole crew. Bucks Nation, salute. Boy, Jeff said I said yo. I said yo. Luke says salute to Bucks Nation. Love and respect, friends and family. Absolutely. Appreciate y'all tapping in. My boy Gibson said, "Let's go, Bucks." Yeah, I like that. I like that we're being underestimated right now. I think this is perfect for us. I think this is absolutely the best case scenario to fly under the radar. You're not expected to do too much, so then there's no pressure on us, and we can develop our young players without any pressure of, oh, you guys lost again, you're supposed to win a championship. Nobody has expectations for us but Bucks Nation. So I think that this is a great way to allow the guys, like I said, the young guys to develop throughout the season without a ton of pressure being on them. You know what I'm saying? That is my ideal scenario. That's what I'm thinking. My boy Chris B said Bucks Nation. What up, Chris B? Shout out to Ohio. Luke said AJ Green should be starting instead of oh, Pat. Don't even worry about Pat and Connaughton. Neither one of them are starting. I said Pat or Pat or Marjan. Neither one of them are starting. Pat is actually going to be buried on the bench. I don't think we have room for Pat right now, to keep it real. I don't think we got room for Pat. Eli said the NBA about to be here for a rude awakening. I'm not even worried about the weak leprechaun. Bro, I'm telling you, we motivated, we focused, we dialed in. We about to get it cracking, bro. We definitely about to get it cracking. Like I said, the Bucks are being disrespected right now. This is nothing new. I just want them to use this, like I said, as bulletin board material. There is no excuse for the Bucks not to be super motivated going into this season with everything that happened last season, the turmoil and first round exit. We should be the most focused team in the NBA after the way we fizzled out in the playoffs and how up and down our season, our inaugural season with Dame Lillard was. But like I said, I see Dame is looking different. Giannis is adding to his game. Hopefully Middleton is trying to drop some weight and keep himself in shape, because I think that Middleton definitely needs to get in better shape, in my opinion. He definitely needs to get in better shape. My boy Sal Cali in the house said Pat of Butters out of Wisconsin. He's still there. He's just gonna be buried on the bench, bro. Don't even, like, Pat is not. He's the new Thanasis. He's literally the new Thanasis. Don't be confused. My boy Brandon said, I said, yo, what up, Brandon? My boy Oliver said, I want more center and rebounding, especially offense. I feel you. I mean, like I said before in previous podcasts, every team wants another big. There are limited bigs that actually have any type of true skills available and have been available. That is why in this past draft, so many big men went so early because they're becoming extinct. Like quality big men like that are becoming extinct. So when you get a chance, you might even overpay for one. Look at all the big men, how they went so quick in this year's draft because everybody needs one. We thought we were gonna get one. We just didn't know everybody else was thinking the way we were thinking. So we just got to take the good and the bad. We need to be happy that we at least have a center in Lopez, and we have another big in Giannis, and then you got Bobby P and Smith. A lot of teams don't even have that, to keep it real. They don't even have that. Do I wish we'd have got somebody else or got another big? Yeah, but it just didn't. The cookie didn't crumble that way. But I'm still not disappointed because I know if we need to get a roster spot open, we can finesse something and make it happen. If we can get a center before trade deadline or the buyout market, so you never know what'll happen as the season goes on. But I'm optimistic with the team as is. If we can add a big, that's a positive, but it's not like anything that I think is going to stop the show. It would just make our process a lot easier. Mia Kim said facts. What up, Mia Kim? Salute to you. The homie, I know more than you. What up? What up, bro? My boy Mr. Washington in the house. What's good, famo? He said, good evening, chat. Good evening, bro. We got good vibes in the building today. Hey, the Bucks doing everything they supposed to be doing to try to put a championship caliber squad out here, y'all. They're doing everything they supposed to be doing. Okay, Mia Kim said they can count us out so we can come at them blindside. Facts. Facts. Shout out to Mia Kim. Hey, Luke, we all know, I promise you, we all know the Pat sucks. But again, he has a black book on somebody. I don't know what is in there, but we cannot get that dude off this team. We'll just have to be happy with him not getting a lot of minutes. That's it. That's it. What up, Patricia PC said, what's up? What's good? Amber friends talking about how the Bucks about to get it in, how the young guys is going in, dedicating themselves, putting in the pain with Dame. Hey, the Bucks, you know what? I have a feeling that the Bucks are gonna come out on a nice run. Like maybe come out in the first 15 games going like 12-3, something like that. I could totally see that. I think we're gonna come out the gates fast and we're gonna take that momentum throughout the season. Y'all mark my words. Y'all heard it here first. I think the Bucks are coming out hot. They're gonna hit the ground running. 12. I think first 15 games, 12-3. I could easily see. Easily see. I know more than you. I feel you, bro. So we need to move Brooke and Bobby. Bobby, we can't move, bro. Too much value in the contract, fam. VB Slick was good. Literally everybody got something to play for, even Doc and somewhat John. Facts. That's what I was saying. VB Slick, great comment. That's what everybody needs to understand. There is so many people's legacy are on the line in this upcoming season. It's crazy. It's crazy. So they have to be focused. Everybody is dialed in for that very point of VB Sleek. Shout out to you. Exactly. My boy, the Bleacher Report boss. What's good, bro? The VP said, what up, chat? What up, Bucks Nation? Gade in the chat. What's good, bro? Said, salute, salute. Talking this good Bucks talk. My man, Jimmy Roller in the building. Jimmy, what's good? Gibson said, salute to the vice president, president of chat. Facts, salute. Shout out to the Bahamas. I see Tehran and the homie Gibson tapped in. You see, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good about what I'm seeing. Just as even as added benefit with Dane working with these young guys, everybody knows what's on the line this season. Everybody knows what's on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone knows. No one wants to get marked out this coming season. Doc done revamped the coaching staff. horse to revamp the bench. We are locked and loaded. No pun intended. We are locked and loaded. I'm confident, y'all. Patricia P said, I hope you're right, Aaron. Pat always finds a way to get on the floor. Not with this team. Not with this team. Nah. We got too much talent that's better than him for him to get minutes. I'm telling you, I promise you he the new Thanasis. I promise you, the new Thanasis. Who he gonna get minutes in front of? Oliver said, I'm so glad that Crowder is gone. I'm glad he's gone, but Crowder signifies a huge mistake in Bucks management. Damn, that was a huge mistake. We gave up 5 second-round picks for a tomato can, a cab driver. We literally gave up 5 second-round picks for someone that gave this organization nothing. We cheered for you and five-star form in front of friends and family when you first entered the building, sir. We wanted you to win. We wanted you to be what we wanted you to be, and you couldn't do it, Crowder. And allowed us to get fleeced out of 5 second-round picks. 5. That still hurts a little bit, y'all. The 5 picks still hurt. That's crazy. My boy Luke said, I predict the Milwaukee Bucks will be a 2 or 3 seed. Yeah, I'm with that. 50 between 53-60 wins. I think that's believable. The legend of the chat, the one, the only, Mr. Cool has entered the building, and he states Milwaukee Bucks 2025 NBA champions. Oh, book it? I like that type of talk. Oh, Mr. Cool, I like that. Like that, Mr. Cool. Definitely like that. Mr. Cool said, not playing Christmas Day doesn't bother me because the Bucks players are family men, so I'm okay with it. Dame, Giannis, and Brooke is a new father. Facts. And that should be even more motivation. Yeah, I don't care about no Christmas game. They took us off. That's just hey, Bucks, that's like them spitting in y'all face. Y'all know what y'all need to do. Take your respect. They don't want to give it to you, take it. They only respect you when you take it. That means getting wins. That means beating these good teams handily. That means going on runs. The Bucks have all the tools. They have all the tools. They just need to stay healthy and be on the floor together, and we'll be fine. And as long as the pick and roll is improved, in defense, these things that I'm assuming are being worked on and addressed in the offseason, this team will be fine. This team will be fine. I promise y'all. I'm low key not even concerned anymore. Saul Cali said we need one more wing player so badly. I think we're good. I don't think. What are we gonna do? You got to remember, we got the second apron situation. That we don't really have that much flexibility. Saul Cali. Nobody wants Connaughton. Otherwise, we would have traded him. I think this is what it is. Unless something out of the ordinary happens and somebody's trying to get rid of a player or somebody mysteriously wants Pat Connaughton, this is our roster. We need to accept this as our roster and support this roster. I mean, the moves that we already made are impressive enough. I mean, how much can we ask out of John Horst being, and we're already in the second April? We have, Bucks Nation, we have to be realistic in our expectations with this roster, knowing our financial limitations. Being that as it may, we have to give John Horst credit for at least improving this team and giving us one of our best teams as far as complete teams 1 through 10 to compete for a championship. I mean, he finessed a lot of moves. I mean, the Gary Trent. This team is good, you guys. No team is perfect. No team has everything. That's why there's always been different champions every year because no team has everything. The last team to be kind of stacked was the Golden State Warriors. That was it. So we have as much opportunity as anyone else as long as we're healthy to win a championship, seeing all the diversity in the league. So there's no team that you can just say is hands down better than everyone else. So why not? Why can't we end up with winning a championship? We got as good a shot as anybody else. Why do y'all like Grant Williams so much, so I'm just not a fan of Grant Williams. I think he's mid. Dr. Smith in the building. Said health and happiness chat. What's good, Dr. Smith? Salute, salute. I'm gonna open up these lines in a minute. Dr. Smith, salute Gibson. My boy Matt in the building said, "Yo, hey Matt, we about to get on their helmet this year, bro. Bucks gonna have a chip on their shoulder." Patricia, salute Mr. Cool, as you should. Salute to the legend. Mr. Cool, I like this comment. He said we got Gary Trent Jr., who was Malik Beasley. That's your man. That's your man, Malik Beasley. Let me put the link in the chat. Yeah. And now, y'all, you know what now? With the Bucks Nation, can we please this season, please be nice to Dame this year? He is really trying to get it together to prove to y'all that he's one of the 75 greatest players. Can we at least give him credit for what he's doing in the offseason? He's getting in shape. He's trying to get closer to the young guys. He helped us land a big free agent. Can we now stop saying that he wants to go to Miami or this and that? He's not committed. He's clearly committed to this roster. Bucks Nation, friends and family, can we please support Damian Lillard this season? Thank you. Salute to friends and family. My boy Gibson Nicholas is in the building. Let me get you up in here. My man is in the building, straight out of the Bahamas. Let me get you up in here, sir. Okay, we got Dr. Smith tapping in. Hold on 1 second. Let me get everybody together here. Let's get the band together here. All right, hold on. My setup a little weird today.
The legend.
Yeah, hey, you see, hey. Let me get y'all to get if y'all been watching this podcast for any amount of time, you know who the gentleman is to the bottom right. That is Dr. Smith, one of the legends in the chat. Hey, just dropping nothing but gems, and we got Gibson Nicholas. Nothing else needs to be said. Straight out of Bahamas. Hey, I'll ban you if you don't know who that is. I'll ban you. Go ahead though. So you don't know who Gibson is, I'm gonna ban you.
Salute to Dr. Smith, Amber. I appreciate you for coming there, putting it on there, letting us come on your platform to do our thing, Mr. Smith, the legend, the doctor, the godfather of the chat. Salute to you.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get this super chat before I forget. Hold on. Sal Cali, appreciate the $4.99 super chat. Thoughts on Terrence Davis? Bucks brought him in for a workout. Any size helps, Saul Cali. I mean, it doesn't hurt. We'll see what it is. I like that they're still exploring options. How about that? Let's be happy that the Bucks are still exploring options. That's a positive. I'm gonna start with you, Gibson. Then we're gonna go to Dr. Smith. Go ahead, Gibson.
Man, when I was strolling through, I saw when you put it in the community tag. Man, Dame, I surprised to see Bocham down there, Chris Livingston down there, AJ Johnson, Tyler Smith down there. Man, I appreciate that they count us out. They put Boston way to the mountaintop, like they so unbeatable, like no one could beat them. Keep that same energy. All I want for the Milwaukee Bucks to do is this season, please don't get injured. If Middleton cannot play, they need to park him on the side of one garbage bin, put someone in this role so we could keep this train going because we don't need no setback. Those two disappointments these past season, it was heartbreak for me that this team can't come out the second round for years now, years, and Giannis need to come out more dominant with a chip on his shoulder. He need to be that Michael Jordan when they played the Orlando Magic and when they get beat, Jordan had Orlando on his mind that whole
season. Correct. Came back and gave him that work.
So he need to come this season and have Pacers on their mind, Boston on their mind. When you beat them, you send a clear message to the league to let them know that, hey, You all counted us out. You all never put us up there. So I just want them to come and be prepared. Doc, you need to switch up the scheme and let the young guys then play for the sake of the game of basketball. Please, you gotta come with your old habit ways. Please, put them on the floor and let them play. We need you. Don't kill out Giannis. Don't kill out them. Let the young guys do some of the way too. Mr. Smith, the floor is all yours.
Well,
Thank you.
as always, I always appreciate the energy you bring. I appreciate Amra for letting always us
Appreciate
come
y'all,
in
man.
and politic on your platform. I did not see. I'm not active on social media like that, so I'm glad you are that you were
Right.
able to see that pic and you put it in the community chat. That's why I definitely wanted to come down because it made me happy to see it. Damian Lillard having a well, let me ask this because I don't want to speak in ignorance. What was it? Is his camp or
Yeah, it's his
is that
camp.
what's happening?
Yeah, it's his camp.
And who showed up
Mm-hmm.
other than the ones that we saw? Do we know AJ Green?
Marjan,
AJ
AJ Green, AJ Johnson,
Chris
Beauchamp,
Livingston.
and Chris
Chris
Livingston.
Livingston.
AJ
so
Green
AJ
too.
Green was down there as
Yeah.
well. Both AJs were down there. See, now that's the
And
kind
we
of
gotta, and
stuff.
we don't forget too, Dr. Smith, that AJ Johnson was already just working out with Paul George. So I'm really, hey,
I
that
didn't know
damn
that.
dude is on a mission. I'm telling y'all.
I didn't know that. But go ahead, man. Keep pushing. Be our Dontavian Wicks. I'm gonna keep throwing these Packer references in there for those who, you know what I
He
mean.
might be our Dontavian Wicks low key.
That's right. You know what I mean. Seventh round pick. Well, I don't know if Dontavian was a seventh round pick, but
Right.
the point is that you were overlooked or whatever when he
Right.
was first picked. There were a lot of people even within the Bucks fan base who were like, "Who? What are we doing?"
Right.
And now the energy is slowly but surely changing. The tide is turning where AJ is concerned. A lot of it had to do with him being one of the sole bright lights, I think, for the summer league. I
I would
wasn't
agree with that.
happy,
Rollins
right? I
played
wasn't
well though
entitled.
too. Rollins played well.
Yeah,
Rollins played well.
for sure, for sure. There was some other guys who had
Right.
moments. I think the most consistent one out of everybody though was I think
AJ.
AJ Johnson. I
No,
said
I
it
agree.
before that I think that he had the confidence that we wanted to see from Marjon Beauchamp. You
Marjan
know what
going
I
to
mean?
everybody camp and still don't believe in himself.
But here's what I do appreciate about Marjon, right? Because had Marjon not taken an opportunity to do this, then I really would have been at his hairline. Wait a minute,
Okay, no,
brother.
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
You know what I mean? You need to take every single opportunity afforded to you to go and work out. What I really appreciate about this is Damian Lillard's uh stepping into that leadership role on this team.
Correct.
This is my situation,
Correct.
right? So last year there was still some question marks. Do I want to be in Miami? Do I want to be in Milwaukee? I'm here in Milwaukee, but do I really want to be here? You know what I mean? And all the rest of that. He's taking ownership and leadership as he should. His talent level dictates that, but we know that there are guys in the league who are crazy talented, but who aren't leaders. You know what I mean? They just
Right.
don't have that makeup to do it. This man is having a camp. If I'm going to be one of the primary facilitators on this team, that it's important that you guys know where you need to be on the court. This is not even getting into the complex schemes that Milwaukee may be trying to run. This is just getting comfortable with me on the court. Where do you like the ball? This is before we
Right.
even get into set plays. Where do you like to
That's a
receive the
boy.
ball? You know what I mean?
Where are your
And
spots?
how
Where are
about
your spots? Right. I feel you on that.
exactly?
Yep.
And let's rep it out. Rep it out. You know what I mean? How do you become a better free throw shooter? By taking free throws. And in two, you can barely see the ball anymore. So just repping it out with the younger guys. With the younger guys being the important part of it because A, they're the youngest in their NBA career, so they're the
True.
ones who need the most work. They're still moldable, right? They haven't become like old dinosaurs who are kind of set in their ways and don't really want to be told
They're a
anything, you
sponge,
know?
like a child almost. Now this is a time
Exactly.
where they can absorb everything now. Yep. Agreed.
Exactly. If you're not listening to Damian Lillard, you probably shouldn't be on the court. How are you not listening to that fountain of information,
Right.
right? And and I think one of the issues that we all had with Milwaukee last year is their because of the disorganization and the confusion with the coaching situations, right? Their inability to get their younger guys ready for the playoffs when they came. So by the time the playoffs came, as much as we wanted to see guys like Ajax on the court, as much as we wanted to see guys like Marchand on the court, they really couldn't come and contribute. They are the ones that had the energy to fight against
He's
the
spitting,
Pacers, but they
ladies and
didn't have the
gentlemen. This is
know-how.
what you call spitting knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Carry on. This is why
Yeah,
y'all come here. Carry on.
appreciate it. But they had the energy without the know-how. The older guys had the know-how without the
Without the
energy.
energy.
So we were like two. You see what I'm saying? So it became imperative. We gotta get you guys ready. And I'm hoping that yields dividends. I'm hoping they're down there sponging it up. I am pleased to see Marjon Beauchamp, considering that I was not overly happy with the way that he played, but I'm
Right.
also putting that on the coaching staff in defining a clear role for him. We've talked about that before. He's not a
Right.
catch and shoot shooter. Stop putting him in positions where he's going to not succeed.
Right.
Let's
Take
let's
advantage of
iron
his
out a
strengths. Right. Let's take
yeah
advantage of his strengths.
yeah. So I'm happy about that. That to me I got the same energy seeing that what you put in the community post
Hmm.
as seeing Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks rent an apartment down in Florida and go just do reps in the off season. This is outside of the OTAs. This is outside of the
Correct.
mandatory rookie
This is a
camps and
different
whatnot,
level. This is a different level of dedication and focus that they're showing right now.
which to me just seems uh, an obvious thing to do, right? This is your career, right? And you get paid lots of money. Everyone else has to work 365 days a year,
Right.
right? Right? So there should be an understanding that yes, once the season goes, it is a grind. It's 82 seasons, 41 of them are on the road. You
Hmm.
get long road trips, and a lot of that time is away from your family. So I do understand. I've never been in those shoes, so I don't want to just dismiss
Right.
that those trials as if it's a nothing. But this is still your career. This is your craft, right? And if you want to get better, if you want to have those Steph Curry moments in the Olympics and whatnot, it's reps, reps. You need reps. And in this situation, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So
Right.
we'll see. I'm only sorry that I didn't hear more names down there, right? So, but I'll take what I can get. I'm happy with what I can get because I
Right.
didn't always hear about that prior to. So I'm
This is
not,
the first
beggars
season I'm
can't be
ever
choosers.
hearing anything like this. Go ahead, Gibson.
You feel me?
Now, sorry about that, Mr. Smith. My biggest concern is right, Amber. I want Doc Rivers not to be stuck in his old ways. The new season coming up, I want to see something new from Doc Rivers. When I mean in something new from Doc Rivers, I would like to see him use more of our young guys and preserve our superstars. So when a team like when the playoff come around, Giannis them could be fresh and ready. Give the young guys more playing time, like guys like Andre Jackson Jr., Tyler Smith, AJ Johnson. Those guys get them more in the rotation more. Don't have Dame, Giannis, and Middleton doing all the
Uh,
load. And we need
I want
Lopez
them
to
under
be
30 minutes. I want them as close to 30 minutes as possible.
Agreed.
When we were at our
Agreed.
best,
Yeah.
Giannis was playing between 27 and 30 minutes, no more, under Bud. And I
right.
think
Agreed.
that's when Giannis was at his most productive and dominant. And it's not the stats, but how he was physically dominating because he had strength. He was faster,
So
more. It just felt different that he had a little bit more burst throughout the season when the minutes were managed properly.
Agreed.
so I was looking at our schedule. So we have a rematch with the Indiana Pacers. So they need to have that on their mind when they play. They need to come out ready. We need Doc Rivers to get rid of that old drops defense. What Brook need to do, they need to drag him. Someone need to sit him down, carry him to the monitor, and point out the silly mistakes he's made. Listen here, you are the tallest guy on this team. We need you to be grabbing at least 15 to 20 rebounds a night. We don't need you to be shooting a bunch of trees like you are some type of point guard. We need you to dominate. Help take some of the pressure off Mr. Giannis. Middleton, we need you to try to get in shape as best as you could because we don't need you that you cannot play back to back. If you cannot
Copy
play
that.
back,
Absolutely.
I think the Bucks need to make a decision. ship you somewhere where you don't have to play back to back. We need a quality player. What to help this team go starting in 2025? We cannot have a Middleton in street clothes, glue on the bench. Giannis have to do his job. That's a absolutely no. Either you trade Middleton or you give Gary Trent Jr. Because Amber, this is getting
This this is
ridiculous.
this is when
This,
Gibson starts cooking, ladies and gentlemen. Carry
this,
on,
this,
Gibson.
this is getting ridiculous. When I look at other teams around the league, no team in the league respect us. No team. In order for team to respect us, the Bucks have to come out more seriouser, more dominant, and we have to be the physical team. Doc,
But
you
you got to
have to.
think about it though, Gibson. What we're doing in the off season and all the extra reps players are getting. Like I said, Dame being in shape already, Giannis in the Olympics, the young guys in summer league, and then going to these extra camps. I expect the Bucks to hit the ground running. Period.
Right.
I expect, like
It
I
should be an
said, the first
expectation. Yeah.
15 games, 12-3 would not shock me. It
You're
wouldn't
right.
shock me. It wouldn't shock me. That's all I'm
Man,
saying. It wouldn't shock me.
we,
They might lose a couple more, but I definitely don't see us losing more than 4 games out of our first 15. I think we're gonna
and
make a statement right away and go on a run.
and not only that too, Amber. We need some of like the other coaching staff to sit Doc down and say, Doc Rivers, we understand
Hey,
you was in the league for a very long time, but on top of that, we need you to play the young guys. You can't have them buried on the bench and they're not playing. That cannot work. A team like the Pacers, a
he
team like the
acknowledged
Charlotte.
it though, Gibson. Doc Rivers did acknowledge it in the end of the season presser that they need to
All
get
right,
younger. They need to play the athletic guys, their
all
younger
right.
guys, and I think he's learned from that. I think we're gonna see a completely different Bucks team from last year. Everything will be opposite. I think last year was some Black Mirror type of episode or something like that. It was just all types of strange and just erroneous, weird behavior, just firing coaches, hiring coaches, turmoil on the team. Like it was just a lot
Exactly.
going on. I think this
Exactly.
Right.
It's
year
very
you'll
it's
see the
bizarre
real
world.
Bucks. This year you'll see the
It,
real Bucks.
It
so
was
this so
bizarre world.
It was
so this
I'm
year,
bizarre,
sorry. Go
right?
ahead.
It was just a lot. It was
so
a
I'm
lot.
Yeah.
this season it should not be no disaster for the Milwaukee
Oh no,
Bucks.
no,
We
no.
shouldn't have no.
This is what
No.
we call the redemption tour, sir. This is the Bucks redemption tour. Now we
Just a
about to go
return.
through high school and knocking people books out their hand. That's what was about to happen this year. We was getting stuffed in lockers last year. Now we done went in the gym, been taking protein, a little Anavar to get a little extra muscle build there, and we coming back out. Now we the bullies. Now we knocking books out of hand. Now we mushing people. Now it's our
Right.
turn. I'm telling you, I believe I'm completely confident. I'm
One,
completely confident.
one more thing, Amber,
Go
what I
ahead.
would like for my boy Giannis to do. We need Giannis to get his revenge on two players. I would like to see him get his revenge, and I praying for him to do that bad. I want him to get his revenge on that old that clown down there in TD Gardens. Who you remember when Giannis dunked him on his head and then he elbowed Giannis in his face?
Oh, Al Horford.
I want Giannis to get him because I heard a lot of talking that he is the Giannis stuff, and then the next one is that one would believe that he's so dominant. That one would believe that he's so unbeatable. Okay, that one who believe that he's so unbeatable. That Jalen Brown who believed that cause he believe he's some type of tough guy. I want Giannis to put those two clowns in a body bag this season. Giannis, if you're watching this podcast, please go and watch Hakeem Elijah One documentary. How he made David Robinson made a fool out of himself. Go into the season, make Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown and the Indiana Pacers look like fools over there. They disrespected us. They give us no shine. We have to come out motivated with a chip on our shoulder to show the media that hey, you all didn't put us in this competition. You all predicted us for us to fail. But this year, we coming. I praying for this Amber. the Bucks stay healthy so
I'm,
we can
hey,
have
I'm
real.
with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. What's your
For
feelings,
me,
Doctor Smith?
for me, I expect a, like I said, I've said this before in previous chats. It's just like I said, I am happy about a more common sense approach to basketball. Like you had touched on it before. We were just in bizarro world, right? And any number of things that could happen seem like they did happen last year, right? We have a brand new coach, brand new system that was drastically different from anything that the Bucks had run before, and I think not enough credence was paid to that. That this was a
That's fair.
dramatic shift away from what we had previously done. So everyone was brand new in that system, right? As
No,
we were shifting from Bud's system to Adrian Griffin's system. I don't think that Bud's system was so tragically flawed that you throw everything out. I do think it needed some tweaks. Adrian Griffin apparently felt differently, and so he implemented this completely new system and a new way of dealing with his coworkers. Because before the season even started, the man who was supposed to be our offensive coordinator decides to quit. They have some kind
right.
of blow up argument. I wasn't there to witness it myself to say who was more to blame than the other one. I just know that when is the last time you've ever even heard of that? Where
Yeah,
someone who's supposed to be that higher up in the hierarchy
Just
says, you
walked
know
away.
what, I'm cool on all of this, and quits before the season starts because of an argument that he had with a man who was fired before we got to the All-Star break. You see what I'm saying? So all of these things happen, right? Our third best player had for the entire year, for yet another year, had to be wrapped in bubble wrap so that we can have him, and I'm not even angry because by the time the playoffs
Get
came,
in.
he was far and away our best player. He
Right.
was far and away our best player. So we can take the shots at Chris Middleton, but that to me is only a reflection of everyone else because all that we could say about Chris Middleton, and he was head and shoulders our best player because
I agree.
when it mattered
right.
most, right? That is why you don't, in my opinion, trade him because you be trading away a lot of IQ. I sat there and I watched we all did the U.S. basketball team play in this last tournament, and I just had like a better appreciation of the
For
players that we
Middleton.
always knew were really good, right? Kevin Durant in particular, because of how seamlessly his game molds in with any lineup that you put out on the court. I'm going to
Facts.
figure out a way to make it work, and I'm going to be one of those guys. That's who Chris Middleton is for us. He's not as good as Kevin Durant, but his game so seamlessly molds in to what everyone else is doing. If we have Giannis and Damian on the court, he seamlessly falls into that number
Right. He
three role.
does. He
But
does.
it's
That's fair.
important for him to do so, and I will hit the shot when you need it. And I'm the facilitator when you need it. And I am the engine of the brain when you need it. When one of those guys goes off the court, he very seamlessly goes into that number two and number one role.
True.
I have nothing bad to say about Chris Middleton after the playoffs last year when no one else showed up. When
He
Pat
showed up.
Connaughton was scared to take the ball up because he thought he was going to get blocked, that's
Right.
what I saw. That's what I remember. When Bobby Portis, all of that energy or whatever, and he was scared to put the ball up because Miles Turner was on his heels, it was Chris Middleton
Missing
to
a
save the day.
plethora of layups, missing layups left and right. Like, yeah.
So
Yeah.
what
Listen,
I
but
what I'm happy about this year is that if we remember it, those guys for sure remember it
Thank you.
because they have a team that was far lesser than them
Right.
who weren't humble in victory and who had a whole lot to say in victory. I don't think that we need to get caught up in the individual beefs and all of that. I think we just need to return back to intelligent basketball because if that's one thing that we do have in spades is IQ. We have a
Mm.
lot of IQ. We have a lot of IQ on the floor. And I think me seeing Damian Lillard take the younger guys under his wing, let's build up some of their IQ. That's going to go, especially the names that I heard named, that's going to be a tremendous boost for us because we're boosting the IQ of the guys whose IQ needed to be boosted. I'm not taking
Correct.
shots, right? But the guys who would be candidates for remedial learning and whatnot are the guys down there in
Hilarious.
camp. And again, that's not a shot. That's you guys are young in your career, right? And so if I'm listening to Damian Lillard break down plays in some of the conversations that he has, And the one thing that I'm thinking, this is last year now, in his interviews, his post game interviews and whatnot, and the separate reporters got an opportunity to speak to him. Yes sir, what's going on? What's
Ladies and
happening, B Shaq?
gentlemen, friends and family, Bucks Nation, the gentleman to our bottom right, if you don't know, is B Shaq. Straight out of
The
Miami,
legend.
Florida. Appreciate you
The
entering the building, sir. To
legend.
What's
drop
Yes
up?
new.
sir,
Thank you. Thank you.
yes sir. So yeah, I'm gonna just
Amara,
finish mine real quick,
Gibson,
and then
Mr.
you can.
Smith, what is happening?
It was good.
Yes sir.
Hey, we
What's
gotta give
happening?
Dame a little props now. They gotta hey, he trying to earn the fans
Leadership,
back.
leadership. That
Leadership,
goes a
yeah, there
long
we go.
way.
That's what I'm saying. He's showing leadership and accountability. He's like,
Absolutely,
I'm gonna make sure y'all
absolutely.
straight. You get what I'm saying? Y'all come with me.
Yeah.
We gonna figure this out.
You can't get mad at people on the court if they're not where they want to be. If you know where they're supposed to be, but you didn't do what you needed to do to make sure that they do, right? And so, yes, you're a professional. It is tremendously difficult to get into this league. I was listening to that 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast. You ever listen down with Carmelo?
Every once
Uh,
in a while,
and
yeah, yeah.
and he was talking about his son, and he was speaking on how difficult it is to get in the league and whatnot. And I think people very often take that for granted. A lot of the people that we see
Right.
uh, doing work in high school, doing work in college will get to the league and maybe exist for 2, 3 years, if that, before they kind of fade to the. It is very difficult to get into this league, right? And so, yeah, once if you've made it to this platform, it suggests that there are some basic things that you should know. But for whatever reason, they get on the court and it seems like basic pick and rolls they can't grasp, right?
Correct.
Or whatever. Fair enough. If guys are out on the court and they're not doing what it is they're supposed to do, but you know what they're supposed to do, as a leader, what are you doing about it?
Thank you.
What are you doing about that? Are you just gonna bark on them in the timeouts and make them look bad? I mean,
Right. And break their confidence like Jordan
right.
did
That's what
Kwame
fans
Brown.
do. Right. That's what fans do. That's what Ross does. When I'm sitting there and I'm watching that's what I do. I have no influence on those players. You do though. And they're gonna listen to you. They're not gonna listen to me, right? They're
Right.
gonna listen to you. So if where you supposed to be on the court, this is what I'm seeing. I need you to, and if that's not something that occurs to you naturally, then that's something that comes with reps. And we're gonna rep it out until it becomes a matter of muscle memory. So I'm just pleased with that. That's you know what I mean? I'm just pleased
No, no,
seeing it.
I agree. B Shaq, what's your take, sir?
The legend.
All right.
Hey, what's going on?
Indeed.
I came in late. I really wasn't listening. I just miss you guys, man.
Hey, that's why we going live too. Hey,
Salute, salute.
same
Yeah.
facts.
um, I I do have some general observations.
Mm,
Uh, if the Bucks are not hyped for this season, if they don't feel motivated, man, they're getting disrespect from everywhere. I mean, all over, man. From NBA 2K ratings to the,
right.
the schedule. I mean, they're getting disrespected, man. And it's time for them to really, Chris Middleton, man, is really, man. People just forgetting about him, like he's a nobody.
Facts.
Facts.
And but there are a few insiders here and there are like, yo, I think we need to watch out for the Bucks. There are some people out there that recognize that, while everyone is looking at the flashy pickups that they've assembled, they've strengthened their team, they've strengthened their second
Shiny
unit,
objects.
they've
Yep.
increased the defensive versatility, and I'm excited about that, man. And I really think the Bucks. It's strange because on one end there's pressure to make this year work. On the other hand, the expectations seem to be low.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
is
weird
interesting. That's an
dichotomy.
interesting dynamic. Right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But here is my concern. Now, this is my discernment. Uh, man, Giannis,
So yeah.
this is me. I'm getting kind of nervous about his dedication to Milwaukee, and this is why I'm saying this. He loves Greece. Uh, he goes everywhere else during the summer. Seems like he barely spends any time here. I really something in me says that his attachment is probably weakening to Milwaukee as the
Okay.
world around him grows more and more in love with him. And that's why I really hope the Milwaukee Bucks have a strong season because
To
I
keep
do
him
not think his
engaged, to keep him
affections
engaged. No, I'm with you.
for Miami or Milwaukee are really that are as strong as they used to be. And another thing, this whole Dame bringing the cats out to his camp and working out with him, all the young dudes that were looking to be a factor, I'm happy about it. But I'm like, yo, isn't that the type of thing you want Giannis to be doing?
Can
Um,
I respond to that?
Go ahead.
Can I
Yeah, go
respond
ahead,
to
I mean,
that?
David.
he's the leader of the team. It's like he's aloof. He's like his love is across the ocean. He's coming back here to do his job, but his love is elsewhere. And
Interesting.
I love that Dame is filling in that gap. But it's a weird dynamic, man, because a lot of those young dudes are going to be closer to Dame than they are to Giannis.
That's correct. That's correct, Bishak. That's absolutely correct. I agree with you 100% on that. That's the
Well,
concern too, but that's a very concern to raise above the eyebrow too, because he was
here,
supposed to
here's
be
what I
waking.
was.
He's
Go
supposed to be
ahead.
waking
Gibson, finish your statement. Then we're gonna move to Dr. Smith. Go ahead, Gibson.
because he said in the interview press conference that he was supposed to go to
What up,
Portland to
Pass?
wake up with him. But we haven't seen nothing. We just see the young guys waking up with them. So that got me a little concerned too. So boy, we just pray that he stay focused and try to see what he could do. It ain't looking pretty, Bishak. I agree with you. It ain't looking pretty because Dame putting in the work with the guys and he's nowhere to be found. I don't know. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
Do,
Floor is
do we
yours.
know where he's at right now?
Probably
Because like we
Greece.
do,
Probably Greece.
but we don't know that for sure, right?
Right.
What we do know is that he's supposed to get married,
Right.
right? And we do know that he's coming off the Olympics. Now, me personally, I I have a different point of view. Let me share what I feel,
Okay.
right? There's no way on God's green earth he's missing the Olympics. As lit as the Olympics were, I don't care if they were Greece and they didn't get out of the qualifier. There's no way. This was the most energy that I've seen
Yeah.
surround the
Yeah. I
basketball
agree.
tournament.
I
So
agree.
he's not missing that. I'm annoyed at Greece that the rest of that team is so mid and nothing that he had to put in as much minutes as he did, right? Because because it looked like he was having to do everything. It looked like Cleveland before he made the decision to go down to Miami. That's what they look like, right?
Man.
At this point, because of that, I don't want Giannis out there doing anything heavily energetic because the man finished the season with the soft tissue injury, went down, and we don't even know what he did. I want him to be taking it easy. I want
I
his
agree.
usage rate to go down. I want someone else to take the reins of leadership on this team so that it's not Giannis all the time, so that Giannis doesn't have to play 35 minutes, so that Giannis doesn't have to hear Christopher Reeves, the Superman music every time he comes on the court.
Yeah, that's
That to
true.
me at this point, somebody else got to step up. There are three other guys, one other guy is getting, if Damian is not getting max money, he should be. Khris seems like he's getting max money. I don't know that he's getting max money, but there's a lot of money on this team. And one of the things that we lament is that Giannis is there 24/7. Where's everybody else?
Else,
Damian
right.
last year was there in the fourth quarter. Khris, like I said, was there so long as he didn't play the game the night before because if it's on the back to back, he wasn't going to play. Brook Lopez was there so long as we weren't playing the Boston Celtics getting punked by their smallest dude. I can keep going. Jay Crowder, a big zero. Uh, Pat Connaughton, a big zero. Bobby Portis, I liked Bobby Portis. I did. He had his issues, but he's one of the guys that I like. But I need someone else to take leadership on this team. To me, there's nothing more refreshing than the guy that you brought in last year to be a major part of this puzzle, saying, you know what? If my dedication was questioned by some people here and there last year, let me show you how dedicated I am to this team. I'm going to take the younger guy. You don't have to do that. You got all this stuff that's on your plate. You had the Olympics. You're finally getting married to that beautiful woman, the mother of your children, and you got to run a camp. Nobody else is going to do it. I got you, Giannis. Kick your feet up. And when it's time for you to return to basketball, happy and healthy, we got you. Look at how unstoppable Giannis is when he's got a full tank of gas. You look. The Pacers who were running their mouths were so happy that Giannis was injured in that series because
Right.
look, didn't he average like 87 points a game on them and like 300
Right.
rebounds on them? I need other people to step into their basketball career so that Giannis can have his usage rate
Look,
drop.
look at this
That's
comment. Look at this
my
comment from Ryan Love. He said Dame basically taking over as team leader. Giannis has never been a good leader. He just plays hard. Dame helping in more ways than one. I could see
I
that,
respectfully
but he has played like they were saying in the chat. He's had Marjan come out there, a couple other players. If I like the way I look at it, Giannis has been putting in pain and giving it 100% every game, every year of his career. It's time for other people to prove that they are putting in as much pain as he is,
and the different types of
I
leaders.
think that that's a perspective that needs to be looked at as well.
And the different types of leaders. We have vocal leaders on the team, right? We have guys who need to play by setting the example. So again, I'm going to use the football example again. I know you guys are getting tired of it, right? But you have someone like a Rashawn Gary, right? Rashawn Gary can sit there and get fired up with his defensive line
Right,
all day and all night, right? But you need to see Rashawn Gary going out and doing it day in, day out, play in, play out. And then people, it gets to the point where he robs you of the excuses. Rashawn Gary, who's coming off of an ACL repair last year and was going out and was playing on one and a half legs, was still in there, play in and play out. He
right,
robs everyone else of the excuse. So you don't have an excuse. There's no I'm tired.
right.
There's no I don't feel like it or whatever. You see him over there. Who embodies that more than Giannis? There is no you know what I mean? I can't get up and down the court and whatnot. When you have someone like a Giannis going out there, but it can't always be just him on this team.
Uh,
I,
go ahead, B Shaq.
I agree, Mr. Smith. I mean, Giannis plays hard. He leads by example. Here's my concern. Um, all these years, Giannis was considered the leader because nobody was in a stratosphere really of talent. And so his leadership had to be enough. Now here comes Dame. First of all, have you ever heard Dame talk about break down basketball? Do you see how
Yeah,
detailed he is on every
his
little
intellect is
aspect?
another level.
When
Yeah.
you can talk to young players and show them how to break the game down. If you hear the other guards that played with Dame in Portland, and they explain how much time Dame took with them to teach them the game within the game, how to pace themselves, how to set somebody up in the first quarter for how you want to attack them in the fourth quarter. What I'm saying is his style of leadership is going to be so attractive to these younger cats. I think you're going to see a shift. There's the other thing too. I heard an interview done with the young lady that does she does the interviews and stuff at the game and all that. I
Melanie,
forgot her name.
Yeah,
What was it?
Melanie, Melanie Ricks, Melanie Ricks,
Yeah,
sideline
exactly.
lady.
And she said, by far, the most engaging person on the team, the one that takes the time and says, I know you have a job to do, and so let me give you what you need, that takes the time all the time, is Damian Lillard. They said that his reputation is that of friendly, warm, and engaging. And I think that this year it's going to make them a stronger team. But I think his leadership is going to kind of start rising up. And my problem with Giannis is this: is what Gibson said. That Giannis stood up at the podium talking about how he's going to spend time with Doc, how he's going to spend time with Dame this year, so they can build that mental chemistry. He can talk basketball. I don't want him. No, I don't want him working out after he did the Olympics and killing himself. I want him to get some rest. But I'm talking about spending quality time saying, yo, last year we couldn't get on the same page. Let's talk basketball. Let's do some walkthroughs in the gym. Let's conceptualize this. And let's get on the same page. So when the other guys, when we come into camp, everybody sees that we're rocking together. Now that's the type of leadership Giannis needs to show. Um, like I said, we don't know exactly where he is right now, but what I do know is that he's been in a lot of different places. I haven't seen him with his teammates. I know some of them came over to Greece,
Right.
came over to the Olympics, but what sacrifices he making for the see, I know about leadership. You can lose leadership capital if you're not making the right moves with your team. So I just hope there's more going on behind the scenes that I'm looking at from afar, that I can see from afar. But
Right.
I just hope there's
Because that's
more
what I would
because
say.
I'm not crazy about what I see from Giannis
No,
as far
this
as
is
his
fair too
Milwaukee
though, B
team.
Shaq. Giannis and Dame were working together pre-Olympics in Portland.
Okay.
I think that
And
Giannis is
I
just
would,
dialed in with the Olympics and winding down and getting married. I have no questions about Giannis. I think everyone else needs to prove themselves to Giannis. He's been the one that's been given 100% every game without no excuses.
Okay.
I think
well, and
everyone
see,
else
here's
needs to kind of get to his tier of effort.
if if I could add, I would just say, like, I think what you're saying is fair, but I don't think that we have evidence that he's not doing it, right? Because we don't know where he's at right now. We don't know how much time is put in. And to be fair, the environment that I work in, we have two major supervisors, and they're diametrically opposite people, right? You know what I mean? They're not the same person at all, but it works. You know what I mean? And one provides what the other one does not.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? And together, the two of them make a good tandem, right? You see this happen in football all the time. You have the intellectual leader and you have the spiritual leader. You have someone who is like the heart and the soul of the team. Sometimes you have people who know the play because of a matter of muscle memory, and on the court, they're very good at performing. They may not be good at articulating. You have other people who are very articulate when it comes to telling you what's supposed to happen on the court, but then they aren't as nice as they could be when it actually comes to performing it, right? Um, I don't know that the two different types of leadership. Personally, I don't know that they are two different types of leadership because Giannis may have like a very articulate way of breaking down the play that we're not privy to because again we're not behind closed doors. We do know that Damian can. I just don't know that Giannis can. You see what I'm saying? Without evidence, I haven't
I think
seen
they both do just
Giannis.
do it in their own way as far as leadership. I really do. I think Giannis is he talks, but he's more leading by example. I kind of look at it like if
Yeah,
you look at let's bring it to the Packers, right? If you look back in the day, we had two leaders in Brett Favre and then we had Reggie White. They were both leaders but led in different ways. Kind of on the
yeah,
field.
and
On the field, it was more Brett Favre getting people hyped and engaged. In the locker room and everywhere else, it was more Reggie White giving them speeches, getting everyone engaged. So if they just have their different styles, but they're all looking for the same goal, but they have different
Aaron
approaches.
Rodgers and Charles Woodson.
To Aaron Rodgers and
Aaron
Charles, you
Rodgers
see
and
what I'm
Charles
saying?
Woodson. So
So
Aaron
that's why I
Rodgers
want
was
to
the one to
compare.
give the
And
speech.
the names that we're mentioning, these people all won championships. I just want to throw that out there, but carry on.
Yeah, and first ballot Hall of Famers. So
And
like
first
when
battle,
Charles
oh,
Woodson went down,
right,
right?
right.
When Charles Woodson went down and there was a speech to be given to the team, that was Charles who was doing that. But on the field, Aaron
Aaron,
was the leader of the
thank
team.
you.
I just don't know that I've seen evidence that those two different styles of leadership, I don't know that they are two different types of
Right.
leadership without seeing Giannis interacting with his team. And B, I don't know that they're not complementary. I would have to see that. And me personally, my desires for Giannis are to take it easy,
Yep.
right?
Agreed.
I think you deserve to be married, right? Right? That you deserve to be happy. You deserve to get it going. There is no. I said it in the very beginning, and I did realize that I was a selfish Milwaukee Bucks fan, but I would rather Giannis have taken the summer off because it seems like every summer he's involved in something, right? A FIBA World Championship here, Olympic trials or qualifiers there, and now the Olympics, and it just seems like a lot of mileage as he gets older. I say that, and there's no way on God's green earth, with all of the energy that eventually surrounded that Olympics, that Giannis was going to miss. Even if
Facts,
his team
Bronte.
got knocked out early, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. And if it was Giannis and he was the only one there, only main guy there, then I would be aggravated because everyone's resting their star. But you also had so many of the other franchises represented in that Olympics over there, right? And so Giannis was supposed to be over there. I'm
Right.
happy in hindsight that Milwaukee had a representative there because I do think that we are starting to become an afterthought. I'm not majorly concerned with that, but we do need a representative on the world stage. Giannis is still one of the five best
Let me
players
let me
on the
ask y'all
planet.
a question. Let me ask y'all a question. Um, I heard somebody making a big deal about Giannis's mid-range shot, but Giannis actually shot that shot a lot earlier in the prelims leading up to the Olympics.
Mhm.
I saw it disappear in the Olympics, the mid-range. But here's what I want to ask you guys about. Uh, I learned something. I learned something new about Giannis and his style of play. I want to see what you guys think about it. So Giannis can play without the ball in his hand. Did y'all notice that? Did y'all notice that that coach would not let him handle the ball? Very rarely, he may have gotten it uh, on a break, but when it came to like running offense, I hardly ever saw Giannis bring the ball up. So what does that mean? What do you
So
think
what do
that
I feel about
what do
that?
you
I
think
left
Doc
it.
Rivers saw in that that could actually help the Bucks?
Stop making noise.
So I have my views on that, but yeah, what do you guys think? What y'all think?
I think in that particular system, he was a. I think it's system related. In a European system, he plays differently than he does here in the NBA. In the NBA, he's used to handling the ball. He's been handling it for years. Not that he couldn't. No one's forced him to play off of the ball. And for him to play off of the ball in the NBA, I feel like it would have to be sold to him. You have to explain to him. He have to see how that works. I don't think he would just do it. He understands how it works in FIBA, I think, and he's
But
willing.
does FIBA have a point guard as talented or worthy of handling the ball as Damian Lillard in Greece?
With this
If he if
Greece,
he if he if he can if he can acquiesce and go along with the program with point guards of that low caliber, why can't he do that with Milwaukee? Why can't, if we say the ball needs to be in Damian's hand a little more, not totally take it out of Giannis' hands? So, for instance, right now, say it's 50-50. If we say for the Bucks to be successful, it's got to be 70% in Dame's hands, 30% in Giannis's hands. Because what we saw with the Greek team, and then we even have a good point guard on Dame's level, does that make it seem that it's more doable on the Bucks?
well, here's what I would say to that, right? I would say
Fine, stop making noise.
I would say it's pretty tough for me to compare any kind of winning strategy to anything that I saw from Greece because Greece is horrible.
Horrible,
Greece is
terrible.
horrible, right? And so, like, as me watching, like, did you see like some of the stuff that was happening with that team? I was frustrated with them because if you're going to take Giannis's minutes, right, at least make it worthwhile. When Giannis is penetrating to the rim and practically hand feeding some of his players, and guys are letting the ball go through his hands. I mean, it's as much as we were yelling at Beasley and Crowder, that was a team full of Crowders. It was a team full of
Yeah, that's
zero
fair.
sum factors on that squad. So I don't know that their strategy. I don't like their point guard on that team at all. I became a Greece fan just by virtue of Giannis being on the team. The States were my number one team, and then I would watch Greece, and Greece was like a study in me not breaking my
Right.
TV because they were a frustrating team to watch. Their point guard is their team is just bad, right? So I don't know that I would agree with any strategy that they were utilizing. Um,
Live, man.
Additionally, he's played with those guys better, or longer. So even in losing strategies, if he fits in with those guys seamlessly, it's because he's gotten the opportunity to play with them more. He's played with them through FIBA championships and World Cup qualifiers, right? He just got Dame last summer. Adrian Griffin's struggles were well documented. And when Doc Rivers came, there were no practices. That was again, we were talking about that in the very beginning of the stream, which
Right.
was, it was Bizarro World last year. Doc Rivers came and had to use his shoot arounds to try and implement strategy. I ask again, when is the last time you even heard of anything like that? Like there were things
Facts.
that were happening around the Bucks that I've never even heard of. They had three or four practices, at the most under five, from the time that Doc Rivers took the team to the playoffs. That's All-Star break included. He
Oh,
had like five practices, right? And or less than five. So as far as getting guys on the same page together, guys who've been in other systems for the entirety of their career, there's no variation, right? There's still so you are not used to playing in a variety of different ways. Dame was in Portland his entire career. Giannis has some variety because we've had multiple coaches in his time in Milwaukee, but it's still been with that same group of players the entire time. He's had Jason Kidd, he's had Bud, he's had Adrian Griffin for 10 minutes, and now he's got Doc, right? So there are different uh, uh, coaches and systems, but for the most part, it's penetrate,
dish.
dish to the shooter, penetrate, dish to the shooter. Greece, it is a different system, so he's had more
Well,
time
Mr.
to.
Smith, Mr. Smith, let me just say this. My general thought is this: when you have a team that's less talent, you would think that Giannis would have the ball in his hand more because, like, I'm the best one on the team. I'm the one that needs to make
I
things
think he
like,
should have.
if they have the scrubby team, right? Usually put the ball
Right.
in the best man's hands. But because of their system, because they have a discipline, the coach said, no, we want you to play off the ball. We
Right.
want you to roll to the basket. We want you to play mid post. It also reserves Giannis's energy from having to bring the ball up the court. So what I'm saying is you would think with a worse team, he would have the ball more. That's what I'm saying with a better team like the Bucks, it seems even
I,
more
I see what you're
feasible.
saying.
I see what you're going. Okay.
I see what you're saying. I don't think that he's opposed to the idea, right? If I don't think that he doesn't not want to do it, is how to do it effectively, right? So if I am playing off the ball, where do you need me to play? Not just to feed Dame, but so that I'm not getting in everyone else's way. Like this has to be so that all of these moving parts are best served. And we can workshop that, but when we're losing games, this is like the equivalent of getting punched in your mouth, right? When you get punched in your mouth, right, a lot of people may have ideas of what to do, but then you get punched in your mouth and you revert back to what you know,
Well, no, right.
right?
Yep.
So you ever see a fighter who's in a ring and he's workshopping different things and he gets popped a couple of times and the next thing you know he just goes right back to doing what he
Right.
does and whatnot. because those things that we're working on haven't been committed to muscle memory. So I don't think he's opposed to the idea. You saw it. Let's use some real time examples, right? When we went out to the West Coast on that road trip and we played the Lakers, we played the Clippers. Uh, I think that was some of the best basketball that you saw from Giannis and Dame interacting with one another,
Agreed.
right?
That was a great road
Um,
trip.
so it was building, right? And I just think it takes more time to workshop those things. I don't think he's against the idea, but the entire structure of the team has been built around Giannis's
Giannis.
ability to penetrate. So that's a lot to
Look at
reconfigure
Kyrie
to
and
bring
Luca.
Dame
Kyrie
in.
and Luca took a year, and those are both two
Right.
ball dominant players. Where Kyrie had to learn to play more off the ball. He had to
Right.
sacrifice to play off the ball to make it work. And look where it got
And
them.
and and I don't think that Damian plays in a way that is an obstruction of what Giannis does, or Giannis plays in a way that's an obstruction to
They're
what Dame
completely
does. I
polar
just think
opposites.
that
It should
it took
work
more time to
flawlessly.
workshop.
That's what's
Say
crazy. They're
again?
polar opposites of what they do. It should work flawlessly. It should work.
I just think that it certain things. So certain things that I think we took for granted, right? So like we thought that the pick and roll was going to be 100% easy. I will say that Giannis does need. I would prefer that he set better picks.
Yeah. Team in general does not set good screens.
Except for Brook, which
Except
is
for
why it
Brook,
seemed
yeah.
to work because Brook has a big,
Bigger
wider
body,
body. He
yeah.
seems to absorb the contact better. And I think his and Damian's pick and roll
I got
was
you a second,
flawless from
Gibson.
the beginning, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No.
dominate. What you got?
I wanted you to finish your statement, but go ahead, Gibson.
I just want to say I am out head out, but salute to the chat, salute to panel, salute to everyone. Amber, the president, Dr. Smith, Dr. Bishak, the legend. Happy to
Right,
see
let's
you.
get them all out here, right?
I just want to say
Salute,
I am
salute.
proud of
Appreciate it.
being on this track. Take care, peace and love. To salute to everybody. Salute to
Appreciate
Bucks
you.
Nation. One love and peace. I'm out.
Peace, peace, peace.
Appreciate you.
Yes, indeed.
Let me switch this around a little bit here. Give me a second. Let me bring B-Shack back. All right, there we go.
Yeah, so for me, my concern, I'm not as concerned with that. I will start I guess maybe singing that song a little bit more if the season starts and we get to about game 10, between 10 and 15 games and we're still not seeing it, right?
Right.
But I do toss out a lot of what I saw last year just because there were elements around this team that led to this organization that I haven't seen in all my years watching
Right.
basketball. Like I said, all the things that we had talked about. So in the previous streams leading up to this year, that's the biggest thing that I'm happy about is our return to some sense of normalcy, right? So we had to be, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Salute, salute. Salute,
Ladies
salute.
and
The man
gentlemen,
himself. The man himself.
he has entered the building, Mr. Cool. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Hello, guys. How y'all doing?
All right, tell us how
All
you
right.
feel,
I
Mr.
didn't want
Cool.
to
I
finish
see
my
you
thought.
dropping
You
some
got it.
gems in the chat.
I
Well,
didn't want to
look,
finish my thought. You got it.
One of the things that I saw that we did last year, guys, was, and I think they'll do it again this year, is start off the game. Giannis will have the ball, and he takes that early checkout. Then they let Dame take over, and let him have be the major focus. And then I think Dame likes to play the whole first quarter. He says what he says. He comes back out. Then again, Giannis becomes the primary guy with the basketball in his hands. And I think that's what they were trying to do as much as they could last year. And I think that's a good strategy. Now, at the end of the game, they got to learn to play together to close the games out. But at least because its usage rate, Dame's usage rate went way down this season, whereas Giannis pretty much stayed the same. So Dame obviously sacrificed giving up the ball, and I think he's more effective with the ball in his hand. And obviously Giannis is as well. It's certainly in
Right, that's the
transition.
thing. That's the thing.
So, but that's just my
Yeah,
thoughts
I
on
mean,
that.
I'll let you
I think you
respond,
wanted to
B-Shack, and
like
then
I
we'll
was
go
reading one.
to Dr. Smith. Go ahead, B-Shack, then we'll go to you, Dr. Smith.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think another reason why we may have saw Dame as passive as he was, and I think this year he's going to be more aggressive and saying like, "Give me the ball," um, is because he's going to be in shape. When you're not in condition, you don't cut like you should. You take time
Right.
to rest in the corners. And he's gonna be if he's in shape like I think he's gonna be, his usage is gonna go up. And I
Right.
really think this is my honest opinion. I think Giannis, if you're talking about giving Giannis help, because he's playing harder than anybody else, if Giannis was smart, he wouldn't let Dame take more responsibility. I think he will, so that he can start reserving some strength and be a little smarter about how he uses his energy at the right time. Dame, I'm telling you, I really believe that. Again, I probably took more out of it than anybody else when it came to the Olympics. They wouldn't even give him the ball on the outside. They really,
Mhm.
they
Mhm.
really told Giannis, "This is what we need from you." And I think that even though the different players, different system, I think Doc was over there. He talked to the coaches. He was sort of like involved a little bit, and I do think we're going to see some changes this year. I don't think it's going to be as much your turn, my turn. They're not going to stop Giannis from handling the ball, but I think that usage is definitely going to go up on Dames, and probably Giannis is going to come down a little bit. Like I said, I think personally the perfect mix is probably, in my opinion, 65%, 35%, as far as handling the ball
Okay.
up the court, running offense.
And see, for me, I think it's going to be situational. I think that it depends on who we're going up against and where the matchups lie, right? So if we're going up against a Pacer team that does not have a dominating presence as far in their interior, offensively or defensively, I don't want it to be 65-35. I want it to be 90-10. I want you
Right.
to, we're going to punish this team, right? You know what I mean? And very much like what you saw before when the Bucks were healthy and going up against the Pacers, right? I think against the Celtics, right? I'm not sold on Kristaps Porzingis being a dominating big man.
Agreed.
I think he
Agreed.
is exactly what what his nickname his namesake. I think he's a unicorn. I think he's an interesting guy. I don't think he's a bad player, but as far as being like a dominating physical presence, I
No.
don't read that off of him at all, right? And so I think you punish somebody like that. But I think against a team like Philadelphia, who does have a solid, dense, big man body and Joel Embiid and whatnot, I think we would benefit by Damian being more of that guy. And if you remember, game one, that was our first game last year.
Right.
What was the most noteworthy part of that game was Dame hitting that shot because they don't have the guys out there that can really go up against him defensively. They have good wing defenders.
Right.
I don't think they were good enough to deal with him. I think it's going to be situational. I think
And don't forget about
the other
Chris.
thing that I think a
Chris
lot,
going Chris going to have the ball too. Chris is going to be back. Chris is going to be handling the ball
that's
some
the other
too.
thing. I I I and as I've said on this stream, right? You'll never hear me say anything bad about Chris again with the way that he played that playoffs
Right.
and being held together by duct tape, and he was our best player. You know what I mean? And everyone else, you had guys who were healthy and were playing far below him. He was out there. That was one of the
Right.
most. I mean that. I mean that sincere. I'm not even cracking jokes. That was one of the most inspiring
He shows
displays
you
of
why we call him
basketball.
playoff Middleton. He's playoff Middleton for a reason.
Yeah. So to me, that was some superhero stuff. I'll never have anything bad to say about him again, right? But in saying that, I can't count on Chris's health until I see it because it's been so long since he's been healthy for the entire year, right? It's just situational. Like, I think I think one of the things that people did not take into consideration, myself included, was how hard it is for guys who've always been the man. That's the other thing. Like Damian's never had anyone close to his level, right? And
Right.
so usage rate,
Right.
there's certain situations where it's give me the ball. And it's been like that so long, not out of a sense of selfishness, but because we don't have anyone else He hasn't even had someone as good as Chris Middleton. No disrespect to CJ McCollum, right? So it's always been him in closing situations, right? He said that. I think he went on a podcast and he had spoken about that it is sometimes hard to find your place on the team when the right answer is very often give the ball to Giannis. You're not
Right.
used to where you should be in that situation. Chris knows because he's been here how to play off of brilliance like that, that level of dominance, right? When we're running down the court,
Great points,
multiple
Ryan Love.
choice. Option A should be pass the ball to Giannis. Option B should be pass the ball to Giannis. Option C should be pass the ball to Giannis. Option D should be pass the ball to Giannis. Like, you know what I mean? When the right answer is that all the time, but you're not used to how to play off of that, there's an adjustment period. So what we have now is the summer to work on that, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be all on court activity, right? It's just having the time to build. And I think they have that. Uh, 10, 15 games in, let's see where they're at, right? Because if they're still doing the same things as we were last year, then I think we could revisit that conversation with more of a, okay, what's going on? Because now we've had the benefit of an off season. You know what I mean? Yes, guys were in the Olympics and whatnot, but you still had time before and after. You still had a benefit of a full training camp. I don't think that was something that they had. I don't anticipate there being the interruptions in training camp like we had last time. The disturbances, you have all of that. You have guys who better show up in shape. That I know that I won't
Oh yeah,
excuse. I'll be.
that shape thing.
You better
Yeah,
not
that
show up
I'm
not
not
in
worried
shape.
about that this year.
You better
I,
not
I
show up
think
not in shape. If you are 1% body fat over what you're supposed to be, I will buy a ticket up to Milwaukee. We'll
Go ahead, Mr.
that
Cool. You was about to say something,
you
Mr.
feel
Cool.
me?
Go ahead. Then we will go to B Shack.
well, I think also a challenge will be we're probably looking at three guys that'll be starting with them that are really pretty good shooters. So they're gonna
Yeah.
also have to how to incorporate their teammates as well. And plus Bobby Portis. You think of
Yep.
the next four guys after Dame and Giannis, they are surrounded by guys who can make shots.
We got a squad
So
now. We have a much improved
they
team
do.
now.
So they have to learn to utilize their teammates. It'll make the game easier for them all the way around. And I know they like to take over and attack and score.
Right.
But man, when you got three or four guys that can shoot like this around you, you make the game easier for you if you utilize them. So I think
Yeah.
that'll be the challenge for the coaching staff to get them to get to that point.
Go ahead, B
Well,
Shack.
I'll just speak my piece. I do not want them to see them play like they used to play. I do not
Of
think they
course.
will win like that. I think they won like that one time with Giannis being dominant. I think that
Mm-hmm.
time is the league knows how to load up. They have shooters now. Move the ball, move
Right.
body, and move the ball. Make everybody. Chris Middleton is the best lob passer on the entire team. There's nobody
That's
even
true.
close. You
He's
need
still
you
the best
need each
facilitator.
one of them to be a triple threat. You need each one of them to be a threat to shoot, to pass, to cut, and that's the way you become a dangerous team now. Not the way they used to play. Egos are going to have to be tucked away, and Doc is going to have to tell people
Mm-hmm.
this is what I need from you, and
Right.
they're going to accept it if they want to win. Again, my own personal belief and challenge is this: I don't think I think Giannis's heart is in Greece. I really do, and I just hope that there's no departure from his intensity on the court from the past. But I have eyes, and I can see from what I can tell. I see where his affections are, and I just hope he's still committed to giving his 100% best. Yeah, I know we don't maybe don't have a reason to doubt him, but I'm just hoping because I see where trends and movements go to, and everything doesn't remain the same. People grow, people expand their horizons, and they expand their ambitions. And Giannis is no different. Now, I do want to say one thing about the Celtics. It's going to be an interesting season in Beantown because I think so many egos have been bruised.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. Let me tell you something. This whole
True.
picking
Yeah, yeah.
Derek White
Right.
and what's going on with Jalen Brown and Jason.
Take-
I mean, yo, it's gonna either they're going to get so out of balance trying to prove themselves, or dudes are gonna come in there punking uh, uh, Jason Tatum saying, "Yo, you couldn't even get off the bench in the Olympics." I don't know what's going to happen with Boston, but my feeling is this: there's no way they're going to be the same team as they were last year.
I agree.
I think there's too many cracks now in the uh, in the armor now. That's my personal opinion, and I think the Bucks. I think Philadelphia, the reputation of Paul George and uh, and big man.
Joel
Who,
Embiid.
yeah, I don't think you depend on them. I think they tend to disappear in big moments,
That I think that's valid. I think
and
that's
I think
valid.
Yeah.
I
I
have
think
to
I
agree
Yeah.
think
with
the
that one.
Bucks
That's
have a
Yeah.
valid.
chance for the number one seed. That's how I feel.
I
Now
think we can
I'm
put
gonna
it
be
on
the
that
space
note.
alien,
I'm
right?
with you on
Because
that one. I like it. Like just like that. Just like that. I'm with you. I'm with you.
now I'm gonna be the
Get your
space
last
alien,
words in,
right? Because
Dr. Smith. Then I'm gonna cycle some new people up in here. But go ahead,
for
Dr.
sure,
Smith,
for
with your
sure.
last words. Then we'll go to B Shack, then end with the legend, Mr. Cool. Go ahead, Dr. Smith.
I'm gonna have an unpopular opinion, right? I'm good. Hear me out, right? I would be disappointed if the Celtics folded like that. It's entirely possible.
You
I
want
don't
to
think
beat
it's
them
gonna
up
happen, but
straight.
if it does, I'd be disappointed
I
because
know where
I
he
don't
at.
want the dumbed down version of Boston.
I agree.
I don't want the dumbed down version of Philly. I don't want the Knicks are gonna get it together, but they don't know. I want their best shots because I don't think that they could beat this team healthy. It's not a talent thing with us, it's a health thing with us. And I want did you see how everyone felt when watching the U.S. team and all of the principal elements were on their team, and Serbia damn near killed them. It was a near-death experience, and you
Mm,
saw what it took for them to
Yeah.
dig it out. You don't feel that way unless you're going up against somebody that could really take you out, and then you have to dig down deep. And
right.
then Steph Curry has to become Steph Curry, and LeBron has to become LeBron, and Kevin
Right.
Durant has to become Kevin Durant. I think this team can do that. I want Boston when they're at their best because I don't want any excuses about
Excuses. Thank
Jason
you.
Tatum still being in his feelings and Jalen Brown didn't get picked for the team and Derek White, the man needs a haircut and all the rest. I don't want and then fast forward and Paul George and he should have stayed over there in the Clippers and Joel Embiid is a bum, and Tyrese Maxey is the best player on that team. They just don't know it yet. And the Knicks don't have a big man anymore because they had to trade him
I don't
to
want
get
no
all these. I don't
excuses.
want any excuses. I want that to be the best Knicks team since they had Bernard King. I want them to have the Celtics to think that Bill Russell is actually still playing for them. I want the 70s. I want the 76ers to have Allen Iverson in the front court every game. And
He's
every
cooking,
time
ladies and
Milwaukee
gentlemen.
comes into town, penalize that team. You are the best against everyone except against us. You can go out and beat the Timberwolves. You can't beat us. You can
Right.
go out and you can beat the Lakers and the
This is
Golden
why
State
you
Warriors.
guys
You
subscribe to
can't
this
beat
channel.
us. We
This is what
gave
you
you
need.
passes this entire time because we've been injured. We told y'all. We kept telling y'all we can get the string help together. Giannis is still one of the three best players on this planet. You give him Dame, you give him Khris, you take these losses. That's what I want. I want no excuses. I want the Heat to rediscover themselves. Playoff Jimmy is now getting along with Pat Riley again. Uh-oh. Bam Adebayo done played on the U.S. team. They're trouble. They're going to beat the Bucks, and then you come up there and you get swept. I want all of that. I want
Yeah.
all of your best shots. Get in the gym, lift weights, all that stuff. Shoot all that you need to shoot. Get as good as you need to get, and then when we beat you, I want you to come on this stream, no one
Right.
else's stream, on Amber's Logic stream,
There we
just like your
go.
man or whatever, Two Strays Entertainment or whatever his name is
No
and whatnot,
straight.
and get down and do push-ups in front of everybody. That's what I
There
want. I
we
want
go.
your best shot. I want your best shot. I'm not scared of nobody. I'm not scared of nobody in the Eastern
Yeah.
Conference. I'm not scared of anybody in that damn Western Conference. I don't think the Mavericks can beat us. I don't think the Timberwolves can beat us. I don't think the Suns can beat us. I don't think I think the Nuggets would be barely happy if they get fifth place next year. I don't think the Kings can beat us. I don't care if you went out and got DeMar DeRozan. Ask DeMar DeRozan how he felt about
Classic
Giannis when he
Dr.
played for
Smith rant.
Chicago. And to
Friends
go
and
out to
family.
Sacramento to make it
Classic
happen.
rant.
I want your best shot. I want your best shot. Because I think that we got it this year. I think think there's a lot of good energy. I do. I believe it.
There we go.
Call me
Hey,
crazy.
let's go. Go ahead, B Shack. Then we gonna end with the legend, Mr. Cool. Go ahead.
I got a question. Is Pronte in the green room?
No, he not right now.
Cause it look like he's gonna be coming for me if he comes on tonight.
Oh, the next time you come, I'm pretty sure. Hey, Pronte, the next time we go live, bro, be checking. Because I'm going to let you and B-Shack go back and forth. I'm going to let you and B-Shack go back and forth.
He's defending Giannis pretty strong. Listen, the main thing I want from the Bucks, and this one thing will take care of everything, is health.
Yeah, exactly. That's my thing. It's not a talent thing with us.
There's not a
not talent with us.
Right.
I pray, most of all, I pray for good health. And that's all I gotta say, because I can't follow what Mr. Smith just did.
Hey, when people ask why do you watch this channel, classic rants like that is why you watch this channel. The information, the energy, the passion, that's why we number one here, y'all. Go ahead, Mr. Cool. And for this individual right here, the legend, Mr. Cool. Go ahead,
definitely
bless the
hard.
people.
Definitely hard to follow these two guys. Man, oh man.
Bless the people. Bless the people.
Stop it.
But I will say this as I look at our roster from 1 to whatever the top 10 players are. I don't think we have to do anything but just play up to our potential, each player. We don't need nobody to do anything extra. Just play up to their potential. We will win the championship. I firmly believe that. I don't need Dame to be super Dame. Just be Dame. Giannis, just be Giannis.
Just do your job. Do what you can do. Do what you do. That's it.
Nobody has to do nothing extra. Just be who you are, and we have the talent to win the championship. I really believe that. So that's all I got.
Appreciate y'all popping in. Hey, great conversation here. Salute to B-Shack, Mr. Cool,
salute to the chat.
Dr. Smith. Appreciate y'all tapping in, gentlemen. Thank you. We'll be going live again soon. Talk crazy. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
All right, now.
All right. Man, we had the whole crew up in here, and I'm gonna tap everybody else in here. Let me get my man Brandon in here. Brandon.
What's up?
It's quiet in the house. Everything all right, bro? It usually be, where the kids at, bro?
It's all good.
It's all good today? My man Brandon. Hey, shout out to the Brewers. I see you, Bleacher Report boss. What up, too? Marcus Little, Pronte, Two Red Violin, Ryan Love. The World Ain't for the Weak, a.k.a. Chitty. Salute to you, too. Just want to make sure I shout out some people who joined the chat recently. Saw Callie, I don't know if I shouted you out, but salute, fam. Jimmy, too. Go ahead. Tell us how you feel about everything. What you think about what Dame is doing with the young guys? Do you feel more confident going into this season? What are your thoughts, Brandon?
I think Dame did the right thing, taking the young guys under his wing.
I agree. And I feel like that shows dedication to the team, too. You know what I'm saying? I think it shows dedication to the team that he's really locked in working with the young guy. Bleacher Report boss is in the building right after Milwaukee Brewers win. Finally against a quality opponent. But go ahead.
About time.
Well, go ahead. Finish your thought, Brandon. Then we go to Bleacher Report boss, a.k.a. the VP.
that this is what that magma. Nobody cannot touch it. Packers, Brewers, and the Bucks will all wiped out on the map.
Okay, okay.
Because, like I said, all the media talk need to stop hating all the small marketing.
I'm with you. But sometimes it's good to be hated on. I'm gonna
Hey,
tell you something. It's good to be hated on sometimes. If you like, I use that as fuel. I'll be waiting for people to hate on me and tell me I can't do something. That's all the motivation I need for me to go get it cracking. And it shouldn't be like that, but that's just the way it is. Some people need motivation in different ways. I'm motivated by people telling me what I can't do. Hopefully the Bucks are the same way. Tell, oh, y'all ain't gonna win a championship. Y'all not no elite no more. That's all I need to hear. That's it. Then it becomes obsession with me. Now I'm like, I have to do this to prove to this POS that I can do it. You know what I'm saying? And I hope the Bucks have that same mentality. Like, oh, y'all doubt me? I got y'all. Don't trip. I got you. Don't even trip. That's I think the Bucks is using this all as bulletin board material. Let the league hate on you. Let the media doubt you. That's cool. That's cool. So when I take all these so-called kings crowns and drag them back to 5-serve form and put them on stakes in the middle of the floor for all the friends and family to see, it'll all make sense. Don't even trip. You encourage it. Encourage it. Trust me, Brandon. You want the haters. You need it.
we want all the smoke because the media don't want to talk about it.
Right.
I think the Bucks gonna take all the people money. I think the Bucks gonna take everybody out.
We gonna be the bullies now. I'm telling y'all, we gonna be the bullies. But go ahead, Bleach Report, boss. Give me your take. You know I gotta get up out of here in a minute. You know it's
Hold
doggy
on a
time.
second.
But go ahead.
I'll give you 1 second.
Oh yeah, you got the doggy over there.
No.
That's it.
Yeah! Yeah! Teach your man how to squat! I had to do it real quick.
So what you
That's
think about everything? Before we get up out of here? What you think?
That's gonna be us this year, man. We'll be like, yeah,
Yeah. Teach your man how to squabble, right?
real fast. It's gonna
Right.
be this year.
You want
We've
something
been
too old, man? No. That's what you want. Hey, we cover for everything. I'm happy where the Bucks are. I appreciate all the efforts of being put in the off season to make sure that we can get a positive season and postseason. So all we need to do is continue the positive vibe for these Bucks, and I think we're gonna be straight, y'all.
we will be, and I just think that I'm happy that we're not really giving that respect anymore. I'm
Right.
just kind of we
Let
don't
it be
need it.
earned. Let it be earned.
I get disrespect because we didn't really earn it to get that respect that much anymore. Just being honest, we need to be disrespected like this. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Because the Bucks need something to fight for, and I think with Giannis, coming back from the Olympics healthy and Dame healthy, that's why I'm just all I'm worried about is people being healthy. That's all I care for. It just it'd be so much fun this year. But I'm not worried. I'm just excited. I'm waiting for the season to come. Everybody can say what they want. I think Giannis should be off the ball. I think he always should be off the ball and have Dame bring the ball up. So if anybody disagree with me, then all I gotta say is why have Giannis do all the work? I don't want Giannis doing all the work like Mr. Smith said. I
Make
don't
your
want him.
life easier. Agree. And if you're near the post, you only got to take a step to be at the rim. You're you're
That's
you're you or you could play like Joker does in the high post.
what's the sense of Giannis having the jumper if Dame you gotta put 3 guys on Dame or 2 guys on Dame? Just come on.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. No, I'm with you, bro. I'm definitely with you.
So,
I'm
So
just happy to see everybody in the lab. That's what I'm happy about. Everybody is in the lab. That's kind of what I'm most happy about.
so so one thing before I go, Boston fans, let me tell you something. You got the Knicks the first game, but you know damn well it should have been us. So when we see you,
We
it's on
got you.
site. On
It's on
site.
site. That's right. For all these teams, it's on site. It's on site. Appreciate you, Bleacher Report ball. Glad you was able to make it in. Brandon, go ahead before I switch up out of here.
One more thing. I think we're gonna get that payback, that ass whooping on Indiana.
Oh yeah, I don't worry. Indiana's mid, bro. We just weren't healthy. I ain't worried about them, bro. I'm not.
I'm gonna say this. I think that the league are in trouble. They are not ready for it.
Right.
We come.
We gotta earn it though. We gotta earn it though. We gotta show. We gotta show.
Show it and show out.
There we go. My man Brandon. All right, Brandon. Bleach Report boss. Go, bro. Oh,
Yeah!
all right, bro. What's wrong with y'all? Don't do that on the line. What's wrong with y'all? Salute to friends and family. Appreciate y'all. Had some technical difficulties in my setup, but I'll get that worked out before the next live. I appreciate everybody tapping in. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. These types of lives today is why you come to this channel. The great wealth of knowledge that comes from this chat is amazing. This is probably one of the greatest wealth of knowledge you can get if you're a Bucks fan. That's why we're trying to give all the stray Bucks fans a home. Hey, this is where you need to be. We are the number one source for Bucks content, Bucks news on the internets. YouTube, Facebook, whatever you're talking about, we number one. We not the biggest, we have the biggest impact. Period. And y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Everything we talk about here, they start talking about a month from now or weeks from now when we already on it. We ahead of the curve here. This is where you need to be. Did you not enjoy the conversation today? Are you not entertained? Please get the likes up. That's how we do every time here. Salute to friends and family, Bucks Nation, the best in the world, best there ever was, best there ever will be. Shout out to Brett the Hitman Hart. I know my man, the Bleach Report boss, felt that right there. I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic, Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news live edition, where we just got done talking about the Bucks in general, focusing on Dame, working with the young guys at his camp, Jackson, Johnson, AJ Green, Livingston. All the dudes was down there trying to put in that pain, and they're putting in that pain because we're about to kick some butt and take some names this year at Fiserv Forum in front of friends and family. I expect nothing but dominance. Appreciate y'all support. The channel is growing. We're starting to intertwine a little bit more Packers talk too as that comes around. So if you're a Packers fan, please pay attention to the channel. You're going to see Packers content as well. Appreciate all y'all. Best in the world. Number one chat on YouTube. This is your number one Bucks podcast on YouTube. Comment, like, subscribe, share the content, people. Gone. This was a really good live today. This was dope. Shout out to the people.